Welcome, everyone. We are going to get started in just a moment here, but as we wait for folks to log on, we are going to go ahead and share a quick video on the Spartan Eastside Promise.
At the Eastside Union High School District, we know that our students are talented and resilient. We know that every day they work hard in and out of the classroom, and all this work is to forge a future for themselves and their families. When students leave our schools, we want them to have the preparation and skills to succeed in college, because that will help prepare them to be full participants in their community, in Silicon Valley, and globally.
San Jose State University provides more graduates to Silicon Valley than any other university in the country. Our graduates go on to fields of education, media arts, engineering, computer science, business, and so many more. We're looking to communities here in San Jose to develop our future workforce, and we're looking to students from East Side. So we made a promise, the Spartan East Side Promise. The promise is this: if you're a student from a qualifying school within East Side Union High School District and you meet the requirements, you have a clear pathway to admission to SJSU.
This program is near and dear to my heart. Having this pathway is a big opportunity for students. We see the impact it has on our students and families. The Spartan Eastside Promise is helping transform our community one student at a time.
We want students from Eastside San Jose to apply and live the Spartan life with us at SJSU. Our Office of Student Outreach and Recruitment has regular events at schools throughout the district to help students through the application process. We encourage you to join us and become a Spartan.
We hope everyone takes us up on the Spartan Eastside Promise. We encourage you to visit the Spartan Eastside Promise page for how to apply and join the promise.
Welcome, everyone, to the Spartan Eastside Promise and Applying to SJSU webinar. We will begin in just a moment. Please note that the majority of the frequently asked questions are going to be addressed in the presentation. You will also have a Q&A feature down below at the bottom of your screen, and our team is live on the back end to answer your questions. We will have a live Q&A at the end of the session as well. Now give us one moment as we go ahead and transition to open up our translation rooms. So once again, for those of you who are just joining us, thank you for joining our webinar for applying to San Jose State University and learning about the Spartan Eastside Promise. For those who will need translation of the presentation, in just a moment you will see a globe icon at the bottom of your screen. You will select the language that you want to present in, and there's an options for captions in the menu bar as well. You can also choose to mute the original audio to only the interpretation. Again, in one moment, this will be popping up on your screen as we are setting this up here.
Xin chào quý vị, mình tên là Dung Dương, mình sẽ là thông dịch viên của tiếng Việt cho buổi họp tối hôm nay. Cuộc họp sẽ bắt đầu sớm, xin lưu ý là các câu hỏi thường được giải đáp trong phần thuyết trình. Nếu mà có câu hỏi thêm nào thì quý vị sẽ sử dụng tính năng hỏi đáp. Để mà vào cái phiên dịch tiếng Việt thì xin quý vị nhấn vào biểu tượng quả địa cầu diễn giải ở cuối màn hình và bấm vào ngôn ngữ tiếng Việt. Cảm ơn.
Para los que quieran la interpretación en español, haga clic en el icono de interpretación del globo en la parte inferior de la pantalla y haga clic en el idioma que desee escuchar, que en este caso sería en español.
So you can give us one moment as this will pop up on your screen shortly. This will be just a moment, folks, as this gets launched on the side.
Great. It looks like it's now at the bottom of the screen. Do you all, if you are able to choose the language that you prefer to be in, can feel free to select and jump in.
We'll leave this up for just a second more so you can be able to make that change before we begin the remainder of the presentation here. In 3, 2, 1, we will go ahead and transition. Again, you can still change that language here. But thank you again so much for joining us this evening. My name is Amanda Fernandez, and I am the Spartan Eastside Promise Program Lead here at San Jose State University. So my whole job is not only to get you familiar with the admission requirements for San Jose State, but once you are offered admission, to help you with that transition to San Jose State, to not only have a successful start, but to graduate as a Spartan, get connected to the resources to help you through this next step in your educational journey. Joining me are my colleagues, starting with our colleague from Eastside.
Hello, I'm Mildred Llanos, and I am the counseling coordinator for Eastside Union High School District. I am in charge of guiding our counseling team, that is every counselor at your high schools, and to help connect the dots for all our students in Eastside to get ready for college and for careers. Yes.
Thank you so much, Mildred. Our team is live on the back end to answer your questions in the Q&A at the bottom of your screen. And you can also contact us after the webinar at eastsidepromise@sjsu.edu. I also want to give a moment for our interpreters to introduce themselves, so they will do so on their channels here. Give them just a moment. Okay, moving right along as they're doing that on their channels. Once again, thank you for joining our webinar for San Jose State University. This session will introduce you to the San Jose State University admission requirements, a step-by-step overview of the application, and provide you with the resources from the Eastside Union High School District to help you in your journey in the next step in your education. We will again have a live Q&A at the end of the presentation, but feel free to use the Q&A feature at the bottom of your screen. Located in downtown San Jose, we are on the founding campus of the CSU system and the oldest public university on the West Coast, with over 130 majors and concentrations. On screen are some of our unique programs, such as aviation, forensic science, and aerospace engineering. We also have over 30 Spartan accelerated graduate education programs, also known as SAGE, which provides students with the opportunity to simultaneously earn their bachelor's degree and their master's degree. More information on all of our majors can be found in our Steps to Admission brochure, which we will include the link in the chat for you here. For any students who are interested in playing for our teams, the brochure is also where you will find the contact information for our athletics department. We are Division I in athletics with 22 NCAA teams and have over 20 Olympian medalists. As the original Silicon Valley startup, ranked number 3 most innovative among top public universities on the West, we continually evolve and innovate to provide our students with unique opportunities for research, collaboration, and developing their skills in a hands-on learning environment. With over 160 years of excellence, we are ranked the number 4 best public university in the nation and number 16 overall by the Wall Street Journal. In addition to the affordability and valuable experiences our students have here, students often choose to attend SJSU due to our location. We are in close proximity to some of the largest tech companies and other industries as well. The majority of our programs do require students to complete an internship before graduating from SJSU. And while this does not guarantee employment, SJSU is the top supplier of business, engineering, computer science, and education graduates to the Silicon Valley, with some of these programs being recognized by the Wall Street Journal as producing graduates earning some of the highest salaries nationally. So, how do you become a Spartan? The CSU admission requirements are as follows. First, earn a high school diploma or the equivalent. Complete your A through G classes with a grade of C- or better by your high school graduation date. Next, meet the minimum requirement, which is a 2.5 GPA for California residents, and meet the impaction criteria, which will vary per major, and we'll talk about that in a moment. And lastly, apply by December 2nd of your senior year at calstate.edu/apply/freshman. Now, let's go ahead and dive into these requirements further. Starting with your A through G courses. The minimum A through G courses must be passed with a grade of C- or better by your high school graduation date. Based on the information you provide on your application, we may offer you admission during February of your senior year. This admission offer is based on the agreement that you will continue to finish your senior year strong, completing your A through G requirements with a grade of C- or better and maintaining your GPA. If not, and you get senioritis and let's say get a D that second semester of senior year English, then we will take away that admission offer and you will not be attending San Jose State in the fall. To determine your admission eligibility, the CSU uses an eligibility index score. We do not require SAT or ACT exams for admission eligibility. What we will look at in addition to your A through G GPA is something called supplemental factors. Supplemental factors will vary between the 23 CSU campuses, but for SJSU, we give additional points to your eligibility index score if you are first generation, so like me, the first in your family to get a college degree, if you are eligible for the fee waiver, if you are graduating from a high school in Santa Clara County, and your military or veteran status. Historically, we have also given a local preference in the form of a GPA boost of 0.25 upon evaluation to students who have that 2.5 GPA or higher. The reason for the eligibility index scores is because of impaction. Impaction is when a campus receives greater number of applications from eligible students than there are spaces available. Because of this, and that it varies across the board, every major at SJSU has a different eligibility index score. Students must meet the score of the major they're applying to be offered admission to that major. Impaction does not mean impossible, as you can see here an example of the scores from the last application cycle and how we calculate the eligibility index score. More information on this can be found on our admissions Impaction website, which will be linked in the chat, and our steps to admission brochure. Now, typically, the way that our admissions process works is that if a student does not meet the score for the major they're applying to, their first or the second choice, then they're not offered admission to the university at all. That is why the Spartan Eastside Promise provides an amazing opportunity for Eastside students. The Spartan Eastside Promise is a partnership between the Eastside Union High School District and San Jose State University to provide a pathway to admission to SJSU. In addition to the wide variety of support services, the Spartan Eastside Promise provides guaranteed admission to undeclared if a student does not meet the eligibility index score for their major. To qualify for the Spartan Eastside Promise, students from the Eastside Union High School District must be graduating from a qualifying school listed on our website, complete their A through G classes with a grade of C- or better, and have the minimum GPA in their A through G classes of 2.75, which is really a 2.5 since you received the local 0.25 boost. So let's break this down a little bit. When students are applying for admission from now until December 2nd, they must indicate a specific first and second choice major. Every major requires a different eligibility index score, which last year's scores can be found on our Admissions Impactions website. The way we determine admission is based off of the 10th and 11th grade A through G GPA, plus supplemental factors and the local preference. If a student meets the score for their major, they're admitted directly to that. If not, then we look at the second choice, and if not, then we see if they qualify for the Spartan Eastside Promise, and if so, we will offer admission to undeclared. Once students are ready to apply, we highly recommend reviewing the resources available at calstate.edu/apply/freshman, as this will cover a step-by-step overview of the application process, so just like how we're covering tonight, the EOP application, and virtual tours of all 23 CSU campuses, just to name a few of the tools available. As you prepare to apply, be sure to have the following information by your side. 1. You will need your unofficial transcripts, as you will be manually entering your classes if you don't import them from the California Colleges portal, which we'll show you in a moment. A full checklist of everything that you will need can be found at calstate.edu/apply. Again, that important note, if your school, or rather since your schools, use the California Colleges portal, you will need to launch your application from there first, and we'll show you just how to do that. Excuse me. The Eastside Union High School District has an amazing tool called CCGI, which simplifies the application process. The recommended way to start your application is to launch this from the California Colleges portal, accessible through your ARMS account. This allows all of your coursework to be imported directly into the application. Alternatively, if you begin the application directly from Cal State Apply and do not link your account, you will have to manually type in all of your coursework. So what are the application steps? Step
I'd
one.
like to add something about the CCGI. If we
Yes.
could go back to the slide. Yeah, so this year, all of the counseling teams at Eastside Union High School District are really helping students use California colleges to learn more about their career choices, choosing colleges, and then using it to apply to CSU and UC. So if you have a senior, bring this up, California colleges. It makes it much easier to apply and also has less errors because it has all their personal information and courses completed. So we are very fortunate to be able to use this tool this year. Yeah.
Absolutely. It is an amazing tool and so exciting that it's available to all Eastside Union High School District students. So as you begin this process, you are again going to want to log into your ARMS portal and select the californiacolleges.edu icon. Once you are in your portal, you will select the CSU application. Step 2 is you will click Start a New Application and create your account. This will then automatically import your coursework into the application. Alternatively, if you have already started the application, you can still link your information by selecting My Data from the drop-down menu next to your name when you're logged into the application, and then clicking Import. We'll show you what this looks like in just a moment. Step 3, verify that all information is correct. This is incredibly important that you make sure everything is correct and hit Save and Continue. Step 4, after you complete the remainder of the application, be sure to have a counselor review it before you click Submit. No changes can be made after you submit the application. So let's go ahead and start with step 1, which is logging into your ARMS and CCGI accounts. I'm going to turn it over to Mildred.
All right. So your ARMS account is the place where every student starts their day, and parents also have an ARMS account. If you haven't done so yet, you can access it. Every parent who has an email address on file will have access to their account. So here are the instructions. You can log into ARMS account, into ARMS, and your parent portal will give you access to Infinite Campus, which is the system that shows you your student grades, their schedule of classes that they have, and the transcripts, the summary of all the things that they have completed. Your ARMS also has another app that lets you see their assignments in a place called Canvas. And you can check that for grades. And it has other apps, including you can add your California colleges to that. If you do not have an email address or you are not receiving messages from the district, you can add your address by communicating with the parent and community involvement specialist, your pieces, at your school site, and they can help you add your email, and then you'll be part of this system. This is what it looks like when you are in your ARMS account. You can see each one of these pictures are the apps, the applications that allow you to use these extra systems. Canvas is the red one that shows you grades. Infinite Campus is the fourth one that shows you their class schedules and the summary or transcript of all the grades. This is showing you the Infinite Campus app, the one that holds all your students' records. And based on this information, basically everything that is in this app will be needed in order to complete your college application for CSU and UC. It shows once again your class schedule, your attendance also, the plan you have for 4 years, and the progress of every marking period that you can check on. But it also allows you to see the student's transcript. Okay, here is a list of all our campuses and the names of the parents and community involvement specialists who can help you get access to your ARMS account if you don't have it already. It is available for all parents to use it. Your students already have it, so if you want to peek at it, you can ask them to show you what it looks like. And definitely take a photo of this slide if you want to contact the person at your school who can give you access to your personal parents' account. All right, this shows you the steps that you would take to log into your account. As a student, you type your account number and your password, and it takes you to your dashboard where you see California Colleges, the very first button that takes you to your own account. So all students have already been preloaded. Parents have to create their own account, have to access their account. But for students, it's easy. You go into your dashboard, your set of applications, click on California Colleges, and it takes you to that second view that details if you're a freshman, you have very few activities completed. If you're a senior, you have lots of information because all of that has been imported from your Infinite Campus account. So it's your personal information, and it helps you see how prepared, how ready you are to fill out your college application. There's a tutorial at the bottom on how a parent can register themselves. You can do it also by following those steps.
All right. Thank you so
Mm-hmm.
much, Mildred. So once again, actually, I'm going to go back one slide here. So as mentioned, this is where you can follow those steps to access that account. If you have not already seen in the chat, we have shared the slides for you to be able to access after the presentation as well. But we are going to now show you what this looks like when you are launching the CalState Apply from your California colleges. So as you saw, as you click on the CSU application, it takes you into it. So for those of you that have already created your account, this is how you link it. You'll go ahead and import there, and it says success. It is very quick. All of your information is directly in there. So once again, we're just gonna play it one more time. On California colleges, you'll click on the CSU application, sign in here, or create your account if you're brand new. And then in academic history, it's going to say, show me how to do this. You'll import your information from your California colleges, and everything there will show directly. Again, if you haven't already started, you are going to go ahead and follow this process to import. If you are brand new to this process, it is important that when you create your account, that you click on Start New Application. So again, a step-by-step guide of this process can be found under Learn More at calstate.edu/apply under Learn More on Freshmen. But you'll click Start New Account, and enter in your information. When creating your account, you will be asked to enter in your full legal name and a personal email address, not a school-based email. So you may be using your Eastside email to log into your California Colleges portal, but when you are creating your Cal State Apply account, you need to enter your own personal email address and your full legal name. If you have an alternate or a preferred name, you can provide this in the, excuse me, in the personal information section later on in the application. Next, you'll complete the extended profile, which will ask you for your educational goals. Please pay close attention to this portion, as this is one of the areas where the most mistakes happen. It's one of the most important sections of the application. The application questions will actually vary based on how you complete the extended profile. So, first thing, you must select first bachelor's degree as your educational goal and graduating high school senior or equivalent. Please do not select dual enrollment, as this is not in reference to students who are currently dual enrolled at a community college. If you have earned college credit from a community college or university course, you will answer yes on the college credit section. But if you have only earned college credit from an AP or IB exam, you will say no here, as this will be a later section. So just to repeat the most important part here, for all students, regardless if you have taken 30 community college classes, have passed 10 AP exams, you are selecting first bachelor's degree and graduating high school senior or equivalent. If you have earned college credit from a community college or university course, you will answer yes to the college credit section. Once you have completed the extended profile, you will then select the CSUs and the majors you're applying to in the Add Programs section. Type in the name of the school or use the filter to select it and see the available programs. Click on the plus sign to choose the program, or click on the name of the program to learn more about it. SJSU will require students to select both a primary and alternate major, so a first and a second choice. Please note, highly impacted programs will not be available as an alternate major option. After you have selected all of the schools you wish to apply to, you will select Continue and be taken to this page, which shows you what you have selected, and you will again hit Select, Continue to My Application. The application is just 4 sections: personal information, academic history, supporting information, and program materials. If you realized you made an error on your extended profile, you can click the drop-down menu next to your name on the top right and make the adjustment before submitting your application. And once again, a full step-by-step guide can be found at calstate.edu/apply/freshman. So starting with the first section, personal information. This will ask you to verify the information in your profile, as well as provide the opportunity to include a preferred or alternate name. This will also ask you to state your citizenship and residency. For students who are undocumented or AB 540 status, please select none for this section. Please note that this information only goes to the campuses you are applying to, so that we may provide you with the correct resources and assistance through the application and eventually enrollment process. The application will also ask you for the financial and household information and size. Please discuss this with your parents and guardians and enter the information as accurately as possible. And note that this is not the financial aid application. Financial aid is a separate application that opens in December. Right. And now we will move on to step 2 and step 3, depending on how you started your application, which will be importing your classes. Once again, if you have not started the application yet, you are going to launch that from CCGI, which we'll show you right now. So starting with academic history, so that part 2 here, You are going to enter in those A through G courses, which will include your 12th grade courses that are in progress and planned. You are also, if you indicated you've earned college credit, will manually have to enter in your colleges attended and college courses. But since your high schools do use CCGI, we highly recommend you import your California college's information. On screen, on the high schools attended section, you will click Show Me How to import your information. Please note that if you attended multiple high schools, you may still need to click Add High School and enter in the information for that school outside of Eastside or the other school that might not import automatically. Verify with your high school counselor first. Cannot stress enough how important it is to have your counselor look over the application before you hit submit. Again, if you attended multiple schools that are not listed on CCGI, you will enter that high school attended within or outside of the United States, select the high school that you will graduate from and when, and if you did attend a high school outside of the United States, enter the GPA of your international coursework on the academic information section, as you will see here. Now, for those of you that have taken college courses, next, you're going to enter in the college that you attended. If you are currently taking courses at SJSU through our Steps to College program, please select No for the degree question. It's incredibly important. Please note that this section will again only appear if you indicated that college credit was received in your extended profile. Now, if your courses did not import through CCGI or you attended another school, you may need to manually enter in those A through G courses that you have taken and what you are currently enrolled in from 9th through 12th grade, so your current senior year classes. Now, senior year, the grade should be listed as in progress for fall and planned for spring. Any college courses taken for A through G credit should not be listed here, but rather in the upcoming college coursework section. If a course is repeated, only enter the new grade. However, if there is not yet a new grade, enter both the grade received and that course is in progress/planned. Next, you will enter in your college coursework exactly as it shows on your transcript. Once again, this section will only appear if college credit was indicated in the extended profile. SAT and ACT test scores are not required or considered for admission eligibility. If there are test scores you would like to share, you can do so here. Official test scores should not be sent prior to receiving your admissions offer. Please verify that the minimum A through Gs are met and manually update this if necessary. This is one of the most important sections of the application. Even though your school is using CCGI, still double check that at least the minimums are met. If you submit the application as shown here, where the minimums are not met, this could lead to your application being withdrawn. If you see something like this, click Update A through G courses to manually make that change. As you see on screen, here is where you would manually assign and edit the A through G subject area to the appropriate course or exam if applicable. Click Save once you are done and proceed to the next section. But again, please double check with your counselor before clicking Submit. Make sure everything is correct here. It always helps to have someone else take a look at this. Okay, and now we move on to the next part of the application here, which is supporting information. Supporting information mainly consists of the EOP application. EOP is the CSU's Educational Opportunity Program that supports first-generation and low-income students through a variety of workshops, specialized advising, and sometimes financial assistance as well. As EOP is an immersive program that supports you from the summer before you start at the CSU all the way to when you graduate, The only time you can apply to be part of the program is during the application for CSU admission. A full guide on how to complete this section can be found at calstate.edu/apply, as additional documents will be requested by January 31st. The application consists of several short answer questions regarding parent and guardian information, financial information, and personal questions regarding your goals in education. EOP also requires 2 recommendations from a teacher, counselor, or non-family member or friend who can speak to your academic performance. These are not letters, but rather a form that will be completed on your behalf. So to request the recommendation, you will need to enter in the name and the email of the teacher, counselor, or individual who will complete the recommendation for you. This is the only section where recommendations are required, as recommendations and personal statements are not required for CSU admission. The last section of the application is program materials. Program materials lists all of the schools and majors you're applying to, as well as the housing questionnaire for each CSU. For students applying to the animation illustration program, students will also find here the mandatory slide room drawing portfolio. To complete the housing questionnaires, click on the name of each school you're applying to and click on the Questions tab. Then complete the housing questionnaire. Please note that this is not a housing application. If you are interested in living on campus, it's not required for SJSU, but if you're interested, applications for housing will open after you've been offered admission and will close in May 2025. Now to complete Slide Room, click on the Slide Room tab and read the instructions for the mandatory 3-question drawing portfolio and click on the link to the website to complete the prompt. Animation illustration requires the portfolio to be complete for admission consideration. I also want to highlight that animation illustration is the only program that is exempt from SESP, meaning you cannot change your major or be undeclared and go into it, so you'd have to be directly admitted to that program. After you complete the questionnaire and that application, you are done. The application is complete and ready to submit. However, before you click submit, review everything that you have entered and ensure it is accurate to the best of your ability, as changes cannot be made after you submit the application. Have your counselor or your college advisor look over this with you. Reach out to us if you have any questions as well. But when you are ready to submit, you will click submit and you will see all of the programs that you're applying to and a fee estimate. Click on Check My Fee Waiver Status to see if you are eligible for a fee waiver based on the information you provided. If you are eligible, you can apply to 4 CSUs for free. If not eligible, the application is $70 per CSU selected. However, if you are not eligible for the fee waiver, but you believe that you should be eligible, then you will be asked to complete the fee waiver appeal form. So where it says click here, it is hyperlinked right there on the application for you. Please be sure to apply early, as you must submit that appeal form and send it to each admissions office for each CSU you're applying. So if you're applying to 5 CSUs, that's 5 admissions offices you need to send that form to. Refunds are not provided after the application has been submitted. Once that form is received, each CSU will then determine if they will grant you a code to apply specifically to their school for free. At this time, make sure that you meet with your counselor, if you have not already done so, to verify that you are on track to meet the admission requirements. Review the application guide at calstate.edu/apply. The links are in the chat for you as well. And a recording of this presentation will be available on our website and emailed as well, so you can rewatch and follow along. Starting in December, begin that financial aid application. More information and support can also be found on our financial aid and scholarship website. Lastly, and incredibly important, 1 to 2 weeks after you complete the application, keep an eye out for an email from us to activate your My SJSU account. It's our version of the ARMS portal, where any and everything that we need from you, any updates to your admissions status, and any messages and important deadlines will get posted there. Some other tools and resources for this, I'm going to go ahead and hand it back to Mildred.
Yes, I love how you emphasize meeting with your counselor. That's right. So your counselor is checking on you. I am certain all of you have had an opportunity to meet one-on-one. Our senior meetings happen early in the fall because we want to make sure you have that confidence that you're ready to apply to a four-year university and that you get the support that you need. But let's say, for example, you get a D this first semester, and your plan, of course, was to do well on every class. What can you do? You could talk to your counselor and try to add another class that would make up for this D in the second semester, the spring semester, if possible. If that's not possible, you can sign up to take Edgenuity. This is the replacement from Cyber High, a way to make up a D or an F by completing it all online and just coming on campus to take the test and check in with your assigned teacher or counselor. Your counselor is the one who could sign you up for this. You could also look to see if there's a community college class you could take in the spring that would make up that missing credit or that replace that D. A community college class for one semester can help you fix a whole year of one course that you may be missing or trying to improve. Okay? Also, there are a few rules that the university allows, for example, for you to forgive a D in first semester if you get a better grade, A, B, or C in math or in Spanish. So these are two areas where you could validate, that's the word, replace the D by doing better the second semester. Your counselor can help you with this. Now, if you are concerned about your grades, like they're starting to slip, and as a parent, you're trying to think of what ways can I support my student in improving their grades, I suggest that you look at this information right here, or that you follow the bit.ly with the QR code for more tips on how you can monitor your student. But one thing that I mentioned earlier is having access to your own parent portal. So you can look at the student's grades every day, any day, just to see the progress and see what's upcoming. Teachers, all teachers are posting grades on Canvas. So you can go in there and see the progress and learn what's coming up and see how you can support your student that way. Okay? And your Infinite Campus helps you with other information. So there you go.
Absolutely. So make sure that you do utilize those resources, utilize your portal, and of course, again, meet with your counselors, especially if you are concerned with your grades. While there is still time, now is the time to ask those questions, seek out those resources, not May, the week before you're graduating. It is incredibly important to utilize the time you have as of now. That way you have the most options available to you. Make it as easy as possible for yourself. Applying to college, whether San Jose State or not, truly is a commitment that starts now. Here is the overview of the application timeline. Again, application is open from now, October 1st, and it closes December 2nd at calstate.edu/apply. Be sure to activate and regularly check your My SJSU account after you submit the application. We send that email about 1 to 2 weeks later, and if you do not hear from us, it is your responsibility to email admissions@sjsu.edu with your name, your Cal State Apply ID number, and say, I've applied 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, I haven't received information on My SJSU. That way it can be looked into and they can send you that. Otherwise, if you wait, you could miss your opportunity for admission. Or sometimes we found if students have waited, they might not have actually submitted the application. So again, use your time as of now. Do not wait until December 2nd. Also, through My SJSU, In January is when we send our denials, our first round. But if this is an error, let's say you forgot to click update A through G, you forgot to put your senior year coursework on here, then you have a chance to appeal within a 15-day deadline. It's a very quick deadline. Again, we're very deadline driven. There are no extensions or exceptions for a missed deadline in the college application process. So please do reach out as early as possible for any questions that you have. If you are offered admission, you'll find out through my SJSU sometime in February of senior year, and you'll have until May 1st to decide if you would like to accept that admission offer. And of course, maintain your eligibility, C- or better in your courses, and attend your summer orientation, attend our summer program as well, and stay involved. There are many ways to stay engaged with our team, so feel free to scan that QR code, which will lead you to our website, and of course, our latest steps to admission brochure, which is also in the chat. This will also include information on how to register for a campus tour if you have not visited our campus yet, and engage in drop-in pre-admissions counseling with myself, any of our team members. No appointments are needed. You can set an appointment on our website, but again, it is drop-in. And register for our upcoming events. We are hosting more webinars on the application. I know I'm going to a few more of the Eastside schools. I've gone to several already, and this recording will be available to you. But we're also having next Saturday our fall preview day event on Saturday, November 2nd. This is our campus-wide open house where you and your guests can take a campus tour, learn more about the majors directly from our faculty, and experience life as a Spartan. Registration is required for this event, so please go do it. It's so here. We'll go ahead and drop that link in the chat for you as well, but it's a free event. It's an opportunity to really see what it is like being a student here and just explore all of the resources that we have to offer you. So once again, that is next Saturday, November 2nd, and we will go ahead and drop that link in the chat for you here. For any questions that you have beyond today, please do reach out to us at eastsidepromise@sjsu.edu. You can also join us in our virtual front desk or visit us on campus. We hope to see you soon, and follow us on social media for all the latest updates, and contact your Eastside counselor for any questions you have, any assistance on the application. You can access that here at bit.ly/eastsidecounselors. We'll go ahead and put that link in the chat for you as well, so you can be able to, excuse me, contact your counselors for any questions that you have. And review the application guide at calstate.edu/apply/freshman. But at this time, continue to put those questions through the Q&A. We'll go ahead and address that. For our question of weighted or unweighted, A's are A's, B's are B's. There's no additional points for pluses or minuses. On the transcript, there is a section there that says 10th and 11th grade A through G CSU GPA. So that's what we're using. How is the eligibility index formula calculated? Great question. So on our Impaction website, which is sjsu.edu/admissions/impaction, it will list the formula that we use. So we're going to, again, use your 10th and 11th grade A through G GPA, since you're local. And if you have that 2.5, we add in that local boost. So I also want to emphasize, if you are below a 2.5, you will not get that boost to get you to that 2.5. You need to be at that minimum 2.5 GPA in those A through G courses. So once again, 2.5 GPA or higher, adding in the local boost, multiply that by 800, and then we add in all of those supplemental factors if applicable. So first generation points, local student points, things of that nature. If you are applying to the College of Engineering, you will also see that we add in the math GPA. And the math GPA is going to be the classes that the student has taken, those A through G classes, from 9th through 12th grade. So at the time of application, it's 9th through 11th grade. If an Eastside student goes to a two-year community college first, can they transfer afterwards via Eastside Promise? No. So yes, they can transfer, but they would no longer qualify for the Eastside Promise. This is only for students coming straight out of high school to San Jose State. However, speaking of transferring, we have an amazing program called the Transfer Success Pathways Program. So for example, if your student currently is not CSU eligible, so for example, they know they're not going to meet that minimum A through G by their high school graduation date, or their GPA is below a 2.5, or it's a financial hardship to go to the CSU right after high school. TSP allows students to go to the community college and enter into an agreement with a specific CSU for a specific major to guarantee them admission to that major at that university should they meet those requirements of the program. So I'll put that link in the chat for you as well. Okay. If I get undeclared admission, how will students choose classes? Great question. We get that question all the time. So I mentioned earlier, we have a summer transition program. This program is specific for our Eastside students, where we introduce our students to their advisors, to the resources here, and to our degree roadmaps and e-advising tools. All of these tools show students how to be able to register for their classes, what classes to choose, what classes they'll need to be able to get into that particular program. And as undeclared, they have a specific advising center called the Exploratory Center, where their advisors will help them to be able to choose the classes they need to transition to that major later on. Do CASP scores matter? Because I missed my junior year. That is a great question. So CASP, what this does for the CSU at least, is it's part of our multiple measures. So when we determine, and I'm not talking about admissions anymore, but really we determine your English and math readiness for college. CASP can be something that we look at, but if we don't have those scores, then we look at the classes you took in high school and your GPA. Is the Eastside Promise like early decisions where you have to go if you meet the requirements? That's a great question. I mean, I want to say yes. Yes, absolutely. You have to come here, but no, you can choose if, it is a financial hardship to come to the CSU and you go to the community college first. That is an option that you have. We would love to have you on our campus, and I highly recommend applying for financial aid. Even if you don't know if you'll qualify, still apply because you never know what scholarships or grants that might be out there. We also have a Spartan Eastside Promise Scholarship as well. So I would say definitely try, see what happens here, but you are not locked in until you have committed May 1st. Okay, for those that are asking about the CASP, I would ask your high school counselor about that so they could be able to assist you, as they'll be more knowledgeable on that exam. Lots of great questions this evening. For the math GPA, for those applying to engineering, is it weighted, such as AP classes that have, no, so we're not going to give you extra for that AP. In that sense, what we do is we add honors points. So let me go ahead and drop the chat in here. The best way that I can explain this is that for those AP classes, if you have, we give a maximum of 8 points. So if you have 4 classes, that's at 8 points there. We give 2 points for sophomore year. The rest can come from junior or senior. And those are by semester with classes that have C- or better. Again, I know that is a little bit of a vague explanation, but the B's are not going to be counted as A's. The no pluses or minuses are going to give additional points. We will straight look at how many A's, how many B's, how many C's, and then add in those honor points there. And the link is in the chat for you as well. For international business, is calculus required? So business is a calculus-based major. So what I mean by this is we will expect students to either take calculus their first semester, or if they have already earned credit for calculus 1, then they move on to the next class. Or if they're not ready for calculus 1, they will work with their advisor to register for pre-calculus their first semester and then take calculus their second semester. We also have a stretch course too, to be able to take that over the course of the year. Where can I find out how impacted a major is? Great question. So that's going to be on our admissions impaction website. We'll put that back in the chat for you as well. Also just notice that our eligibility index score I put in, did not put that here, so we'll put that there for everyone to see. Excuse me. And we'll put our Eastside email in here. Perfect. Okay. And again, impaction does not mean impossible. Just every score has a different requirement, but that's where the Spartan Eastside Promise comes into play. Essentially, as that safety net. We want you here on our campus, and we want to support you through this process. If I'm retaking a class senior year and I fail in an earlier year, how do I indicate that on the transcript? So I can't answer for the transcript. I see Mildred, thank you for answering that question there. But on the application, if you are currently retaking that class, you do need to put the grade that you received and that class is in progress. And Mildred, I don't know if you want to answer that over audio as well.
Yes, that's correct. The course that you already earned a grade for will remain in your transcript until you have earned a new one to replace it. So if you're taking this class in senior year, you cannot vouch that you're going to have X, Y, or Z grade. So you just say, this is what I'm planning, and this is the old one. So yes, they will consider the new grades that you earned in your senior year for eligibility for graduation. They consider all the courses that you are planned for senior year as part of that.
In our last minute here, I see there's no more questions. So Mildred, do you have any final announcements or any last notes you'd like to share with our students and families and guests here?
Well, I want to thank everyone who showed up tonight. This is really excites me, the fact that you're all very involved. Know that at several of your campuses, we are having College Week this week. So talk to your seniors or your juniors, all the students that are hearing information about college, have that conversation at the dinner table to learn more about what's piquing their interest, what are they dreaming about for their college future. This week, that's happening this week. And yes, Preview Day, we are really excited about Preview Day. Please attend. You can do it on your own. And it's a great experience to go with your child and learn more about the campus. Walk the campus on Saturday, November 2nd. All right.
Yeah, if I can also add a few things. I think the presentation was really focused on the SJSU and CSU application. So we didn't get to dive too deeply into the financial aid component of an application. When the FAFSA is released later this year, you're going to hear information about how to apply for the FAFSA, the Cash for College workshops that are going to be having at school sites. So definitely keep an eye out for information on that portion. But right now, we're really happy to announce that the application is open. Make sure that you all are able to get the information and get it in by December 2nd. And then we'll work on the part for financial aid when that application comes next.
Yes.
Absolutely. Keep an eye out for that information. Make sure that you are checking our messages. We'll also put the link to our financial aid and scholarship office here should you have additional questions to address here.
And I would highly encourage anyone to join the social media so you get the updates and you can keep up with what's happening on the campus.
Well, thank you all again so much for joining us this evening. Again, if you do have any other questions, please feel free to reach out to us in care of the information here. Our last two questions here is for Preview Day, can we visit the campus another day? Is that via appointment if we miss it? So if you're unable to attend Preview Day, yes, you can be able to register for a campus tour. That information is on our website at sjsu.edu/soar. But for those that are interested in Preview Day, once again, the link is in the chat for you to register. It is Saturday, November 2nd, so next Saturday. When you register, or rather leading up to the event, you will get more information on where to park, where to meet, as well as we will have campus tours on our tower lawn and several workshops throughout the campus for you to be able to meet. We will send a link of the recording to all folks that have registered for the workshop, and we will post it on our website, sjsu.edu/soar. So thank you once again so much for joining us today. Have a great rest of your evening, and go Spartans!